Hello Facebook friends, you're watching Monica do self-myofascial release on her hip flexors and now on her IT band. You're going to also watch me doing fascial stretch therapy on her. I am a proud level 2 fascial stretch therapist. And you're watching me stretch out her QL, quadratus lumborum for those of you watching at home, her IT band, and her hip flexors. Monica is my wedding gown ready model. Wedding gown ready is about aesthetics, but it's also about health and function. Monica does a lot of core exercises. Inevitably, when you do core exercises, you're going to flex your hips. When you flex your hips, you're likely to develop tightness in your hip flexors, your quadriceps, and possibly in your lower back. So what I'm doing on her right now is I am correcting that possible tightness in her hip flexors, quadriceps, and lower back, her quadratus lumborum. Now you're watching me do traction. Traction is a fundamental quality of fascial stretch therapy. It creates joint space and length. Length improves your posture. Better posture equals more aesthetic. Now you're watching me do the scorpion move straight up from Arizona, Tempe, Arizona. And Frederick, I hope you're watching. This stretch stretches out the hip flexors. It's a great stretch. I experienced it this past weekend and it's great. Now, I want you to see the beautiful backdrop of the Biltmore Hotel. The Biltmore Hotel is a beautiful resort. This is where a lot of ladies get married. Can you wonder why? Look at the beautiful backdrop. More traction. Now I'm going to take Monica through a hip flexor stretch and a quadricep stretch. I'm doing traction on her now. Now I'm taking her into the hip flexor stretch. Watch how I move her foot in and out. This increases the stretch of the hip flexor as I internally and externally rotate her hip. I wish Monica can tell you what she's experiencing right now, because she's telling me she's feeling very, very good. Now I'm applying PNF, which I'm asking her to contract and then relax, and then I stretch her out. PNF is another fundamental property of fascial stretch therapy. It enhances the stretch, and it also feels real good. As you can see, I'm internally and externally rotating her hip to enhance the stretch. Now I'm applying traction again, oscillation and traction, to help her relax and create more joint space and to stretch the deep fibers of her hip flexors, quadriceps. Now I'm taking her into a quadriceps stretch. I bend her knee and put her ankle as close as possible to her buttocks. That is, without pain. I ask her to contract for PNF, and then I ask her to relax to stretch. I internally and externally rotate her hip to enhance the quadriceps stretch. Check out the beautiful backdrop, y'all. The Biltmore Hotel is a beautiful resort. If you ever come to Miami, Coral Gables, Florida, I strongly suggest you come and visit us. This fountain is a favorite place for ladies to get married at. Now I'm finishing up with some oscillation and some traction. And I'm taking her again into another series of quadriceps and hip flexors stretch. I ask her to contract her hip and to kick me. This way she contracts her hip flexors and her quadriceps. The hip flexors and the quadriceps are very much related. Therefore, we like to stretch them at the end of our hip flexor stretching series together. As I said before, Monica does a lot of core exercises, and core exercises tend to utilize the hip flexors and the quadriceps.